The other one is in content, which is a program called School. It's mathematics, it's sciences for the young kids. It's animated, it's videos, animation, translated into Spanish. Educar, Universidad Católica, have taken this and they're bringing it into the high schools and the younger kids in there. So that's in Spanish. You've localized this into Chile. And I think Chile, Peru, Argentina, Colombia, you're all cooperating on this since the translation was done. Around the world, we have these PC programs to reach people, whether they're students, whether they're doctors, whether they're PCs in mortgages, working through banks, different government programs. This is different flavors of Mi Primer PC aimed at different areas in different countries. We run, I see about 160 of those running at a time in about 60 countries. So you can see, how do you get computers to doctors in very rural Australia that might be 500 kilometers from the nearest town? How does that work? How do you equip them? How do you train them? What's the incentive for them to do that? So there's many, many programs around the world that do this, and we get engaged with all of them, with banks, with telecoms, with lots of cooperation, always under a government plan. Government wants to reach this part of the people. We then work with the industry and our partners to deliver to some of those. So that kind of gives you some years of working these programs to know how you take them to market, not just what's the best chip or is this chip faster than that chip. How you actually get them to farmers and doctors and teachers and PIMAs and how they use them. So that's what these programs are like. Probably delivered about 40 million computers to people that wouldn't have purchased them or wouldn't have known they needed them or wouldn't have wanted them in the last 4 years. It's a fairly successful program. This is what World Ahead does. So Chile. This is a conversation, I think, that I tried to capture, Mr. Eduardo Bertrand. We had a good conversation yesterday. I tried to capture the conversation we had yesterday on a slide, and I hope this does it justice. I mean, what we said is, you look at recession in Chile, it's going to hit every country, it's hitting every country. What do you do? Some of these programs, broadband. So one of the things we spoke about was infrastructure, that training, that broadband, that capacity building, that local content for the different industries. What's that? That's that infrastructura TIC on the bottom there. Then you look at the industries, the leading industries in Chile. They may be mining, fishing, agriculture, tourism, and obviously education is the foundation for everything. So we're thinking about how that can apply and recognize mining, fishing, agriculture, tourism don't occur to most extent in the big cities. Certainly the mining, the fishing, the agriculture don't. They're in the rural areas. And these are the areas that broadband probably have 1% broadband connectivity, not the 10 and 20 and 30% you'll see in the big cities. So they're the people that aren't part of the IT economy. They're not using IT to modernize their fishing, to do sensors in the mining, to do remote ways of doing this, to manage the fishing, to be on the internet and show the tourism and show what a wonderful, beautiful country there is and give people all the facilities and capabilities. They're probably using IT less because they're in rural, they have less access. So that was part of the concept we spoke about, how you can use this, apply it to the things that are the most important in Chile. And then above that, you need the local content, you need the local flavors. Farmers need different management software than fishermen do. Mining needs sensors, and a lot of it's done remote, and you're managing it wirelessly with proprietary technology and sensors. And that needs that innovation and that entrepreneurship to manage that. So that was, I think, the model we spoke about yesterday, and I hope this captures it accurately, but it's one area that would make a lot of sense where IT might be able to add some value to what you're trying to do in Chile. So that's really an area that I think would be very, very applicable and topical for some of the thought leaders to think about here and some of the government leaders. So quick summary. Number one is, as you look at recovery plans, ICT, TIC can be a part of this. We hope that we can be a part and work closely with folks in Chile, bring our best technologies here, work with our industry partners. The second one is rural, that banda ancha to the people in the rural, where the farmers, the fishing, the mining, the tourism is. How do you get that there? There's funds and ways of doing this. Lots of countries have looked at ways of taxes and VATs. I showed you it in China, different areas. It's a way you can reach target marketplaces. I saw this recently in Guatemala. They wanted to reach all the teachers to get a computer. They couldn't change the tax laws, so they gave the teacher a voucher to cover the IVA. It's a very simple thing to do. No laws changed, but obviously some money changed hands. So I've seen that kind of inventive program where people look, how can I get the interest rates down for banks? How can I make it cost effective to reach some of these rural and other areas? We'd hope that we have some experience on this around the world. We could share some capabilities we can bring as a business helper, business assistant here. So, work with us in the industry. This is really advice to governments and thought leaders. And local industry, local jobs, the things that's the most important to you. I've seen countries bring technology in because it can be the best technology. That isn't the reason you want it. That isn't where you're going to get value. It has to be, I'm creating local jobs, it will sustain, and I'm giving value to my local industry. That's why you do this. So I think the most fundamental thing in there is that bottom point. Local jobs, local industry, local innovation, local thought leadership, that local value added. So that's really where I'd like to leave it. Muchas gracias, and thanks for allowing me the time. Thank you.